Hello and welcome. Today we're going to look at the Avier Pro XL GPS quadcopter drone. Now the drone does come in this large square box. It says Pro XL quadcopter drone, GPS precise positioning, and it's from Avier. And down here it has a listing of a few of its features. And here on the side it has a listing of other cool things it does. Here's more of an explanation here in the back. So let's open her up here. Let's see what's inside. So we've got like 3 boxes here. This box here has the drone, very neat. Ooh, this second box here. We have the transmitter and other accessories. Here are the instruction manuals. And here is another box. Now here is all the contents of the box. We have the drone, we have spare propellers, its landing legs, screws, a screwdriver, prop guards, 720p camera with its mount, a 7.4 volt 2000 milliamp LiPo battery, manuals and brochures, the transmitter, cell phone mount, and the charger. Now once everything has been assembled, it looks like this. Here's the quadcopter. It is a large quadcopter and somewhat heavy, so it will most likely require FAA registration. It is a brushed motor quadcopter. It does have a few lights here for night flying, so colorful lights. And the way you install these landing legs here is you would use the included screwdriver and screws and just put in 2 screws on each area like so. And there's even a screw here for the battery bay to secure the battery, so you'd need a little screwdriver to swap out batteries, although it does lock firmly without having a screw. Right down here there's a clickable mount that is pretty standard in SEMA X8s and Bayang X16 and a few other quadcopters, even the ProMark Shadow GPS drone. So you could snap in other mounts or cameras on here as well. And this included mount with dampers and such. You can even remove this camera and put in a GoPro or GoPro clone that would fit in there. Another thing to note about this mount and its connection here, it does have like a small servo motor in there to allow you to remotely tilt it, to tilt the camera. And it does tilt in increments, so it's not a smooth tilt. But a very neat looking quadcopter with its sleek black design. Very durable, sturdy plastic. Now let's take a brief look at the transmitter as well. That one had also a little bit of installation as well. You had to snap in this little back mount in order to use the cell phone. Going over some of the controls here, your throttle and rudder. This is your on-off button. This is your camera button, which short press is a photo, long press is a video. This is your speed button, and it seems like there's 2 speeds, low and high, and they'll be denoted with beeps. So 1 beep is slow and 2 beeps is probably fast speed. This is your auto takeoff, auto land button. This is your GPS button, so you can actually take off the GPS and manually fly this. And that's denoted by a long beep and a short beep. So short beep, I believe it's GPS active, and a long beep lets you know that you have turned off the GPS and the quadcopter's in manual mode and could drift with wind. So keep that in mind. Here at the bottom, there's some additional controls. Here's the camera tilt arrow buttons. So this tilts the camera up and this tilts it down. And as I said earlier, it does it in increments. So you tap this once and it'll tilt a few degrees, tap it again, it'll tilt a few degrees, and there'll be a beep as you do this. Here are a couple of trims for your yaw. This button in the middle seems like it's inactive. It doesn't seem to do anything or beep or anything like that. So here are also other trims here for your directional trims. And this is your headless mode button. You quick tap that for headless mode, and you long tap that for a return to home. And aside from that, that is it. There are no flip buttons or anything like that. And the batteries it requires are here, which are 4 AA batteries. And so a quick note on the battery. Let's take a quick look at the battery. This battery, as I mentioned earlier, is a 7.4 volt, 2000 milliamp LiPo battery. And the good thing about this battery is it's not so proprietary. You can even find these in Walmart because these are the batteries for the ProMark Warrior or CW drones. Basically, first you turn on the quadcopter after you've inserted the fully charged battery and inserted your SD card. So you turn it on and immediately you'll start seeing these blinking lights. Then next you turn on your transmitter. Now this is bound out of the factory, so there's no need to put the throttle up or down or do any binding procedure. So you just turn this on and just wait a couple of seconds until you hear a beep. And you'll see that flashing going on. What's recommended on your first flight is to calibrate both the gyros and the compass. So to do the gyros, it's simple. It's throttle to the upper left and rudder to the lower right, like so, until you see some flashes. There we go. Then once that quick flash is done, to calibrate the compass, you would put the throttle to the lower left and the rudder to the upper right, like so, until you see very quick blinking. Once you see that, you would face it up, rotate it 3 times counterclockwise, like so. And then you would face it like on its horizontal axis and also do it 3 times counterclockwise. And then at that point, you can just set it down and wait for the rapid blinking to turn into stable blinks. Now you just have to wait here until the lights go solid without blinking, and that indicates you have GPS lock. Now as you wait for GPS lock, you would get the app ready and connect to it and start setting up the live stream. So what you would do is you'd go to your Wi-Fi settings and you would see an entry for Avier Pro XL. So you would simply connect to that, and there's no default password or anything like that. Once that's connected, you would go into the Avier Pro XL app, and it looks like this. You would enter that. You would be greeted with this intro screen here, and then you would do, the main one is start. And as you can see right now, we have a live feed here with the quadcopter. So now you are actually seeing a live feed here, and here are some of the controls. This will take you back, this will take a picture, this will take a video, this will allow you to access your album of saved pictures or videos within the app. Now there are virtual controls here, and it seems like you should be able to fly this using the app, but I haven't had any success doing so. So I'm not sure if perhaps this app is used with other Avier drones, and that's why those controls are listed, or maybe it's a future plan, or maybe there's another way to activate them. But anyhow, we'll go over them in any case. So here are your rates. You get 30, 60, and 100. Here you would fly with the accelerometer, where you tilt your phone. The quadcopter should tilt. Here you have your altitude hold. So when you see the virtual controls, and that says off, we'll turn them on. You'll notice that the throttle is downward, but if you push the altitude hold, it'll center it. And you'll have auto takeoff, auto land, emergency button, so on and so forth. And here are your virtual controls. And this will allow you to do your 360 flip. And then last but not least, you have some settings here where you could reverse reverse the camera and make it look upside down. You can view this in VR goggles. And you have, I'm guessing this is maybe headless mode. And this might be follow me, maybe, perhaps. And this one might be gyro calibration. So, and that's essentially it. This does not give you any telemetry of the quadcopter as far as height, distance, how fast it's going, where it is. And it doesn't seem like the virtual controls work, but it does give you an FPV view that you can even use in cell phone goggles. And that's about it. So let's take this up for a little flight and look at some footage.